Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. My name's Emery Wolf, and Nick Lamb, are you in the house?
Yes, and my audio's working again.
Perfect. And Nick's joining us as well, and we are just two camera guys, a show where we're going to talk all things camera. This week, we got a bit of a crazy episode for you. Basically, a bunch of stuff that Nick and I have just, I don't know, we've been busy doing things. So this is sort of a tribute to that, a bunch of ideas, a bunch of culminations of things coming together. And we also recorded it before. We're recording this way after because we decided this episode just needed to be its own thing. We need to separate two episodes. So with that said, we're just gonna, get into it and star wipe.
Well, how's your week going? What's happening with you?
And my week, it's been a week. I'll put it to you that way. We're recording this the Monday after Agribition. So I was working at Agribition from Tuesday to Saturday. Then we also had the Rough Rider game, the playoff game Sunday. So I've been going to work at 7 a.m., going to Agribition right after that. So leaving work straight to Agribition and not getting home till 10:30 p.m.
Oh.
Did that every night. To make matters worse, Ryan, our good friend Ryan, the only guy
Ryan's
who's been on our show twice, Ryan, I'm not sure what I did to him, but for some reason he decided.
Did you hurt one of his cats?
No, I don't know. No.
So explain Agribition, because I'm picturing you rounding up cattle. I'm picturing you pushing bulls out of the chute.
Yeah, kind of that second option. So I'm not like working with the animals. I'm obviously doing a camera guy job there, right? So what they deal with there is the rodeo specific. So everything you see in house on that video screen is our little crew. And yeah, so this year for some reason, so I think I've worked Agribition for like the last 6 years or something. And this year, Ryan decides to put me on handheld camera. So never done it for the rodeo before, but a week long of a 40-year-old man with a 20-pound camera on his shoulder running around. I'm not even kidding, man. I lost 8 pounds this week.
Hold on. So you were just with the bulls, right?
No.
You were that handheld?
Well, I was that handheld, but like you're at the chutes shooting the bulls and the guys getting on the bulls or getting on Broncos or whatever. Then, you got to run down to the other end of the arena where they're doing roping because you're doing a handheld close-up shot of a rider's head so that they can put a name tag in on the rider. And then they go out and catch the steer with their rope or whatever, and then run back to do the bulls and then run across to capture this other thing. So like I was moving all over the place, carrying this big camera.
Yeah, these aren't small. Those are like your big news cameras, like the giant.
Yeah, I don't know what Ryan was thinking, and he put me on it.
Was there was there anybody in their 20s there?
Yeah, well, Rolf. So Rolf is part of our usual Pats crew.
He's early 20s.
Yeah, he does camera for the Pats as well.
Handheld.
Yeah. And do you know where he was?
Why not put Rolf on it?
That is a great question. I don't know the answer to that question. Rolf
what
was
Rolf doing?
He was in the room doing graphics or something easy like that.
You get it? You just push a button.
Yeah, I know. And he's just no idea why Rolf or like we used to have Matt Howard used to be our guy running around doing all that. He showed up Saturday night and Matt Howard worked the iris control. That's it. So he's in the back and he only had 2 cameras to work, right? So he's like done and fixed. Meanwhile, old me, again, I don't understand why Ryan put me on.
Does Ryan know how old you are?
He should.
Why?
I'm pretty sure we discuss how old we are all the time.
Why not just give you the night off? Put Rolf on. You can even just go home.
Again, Ryan, I think I did something to him, but I don't know what it is. He went out of his way to try to murder me this week is what it felt like.
Yeah. Let's give Ryan a call. I seriously think you might have hurt one of his cats.
Or I hurt his feelings. Maybe I said something that hurt his feelings. Like, to put some of this in perspective too, again, like I said, I lost 8 pounds. Not a word of a lie. I lost 8 pounds last week from running around, sweating. Oh man, the first night I was wearing these like kind of camping pants, so they're a little bit lighter. The front of like my legs were just soaked from sweat. It was pretty gross.
I haven't done handheld in so long that I am afraid I'd be crooked. Did you have problem with Horizons at all?
I
like at first?
No, I think I put some effort into try to correct it all the time. Like, and how quick they take your shot. It's, it's a short period of time as well.
Yeah.
But there was some times too, like where they held on me for longer than they should have, which you're just like, oh my God, please cut for the love of God.
You don't get, okay, there's that shot. So now this is tripod, which is totally different and 100% easier than a handheld camera. But there's a shot in hockey where, hold on, here's Ryan. Ryan. Okay. Did Emery step on one of your cats?
Why? What's the
handheld for a week?
Well, someone's got to do it.
I'm guessing cat murderer or would be the one that would do it.
So like it's not as bad as it sounds. It was wireless handheld. That's why it was him. That's why he's so choked up about it. It's because he had to run to opposite ends for the different. Because like the thing is, Cal was also handheld, but he was just in the penalty box.
Yeah.
But Cal has the steady cam, like the ENG steady cam, like you go, just holds it there for you. So Cal was like just fine. But
did Emery have two cameras? He could leave one at the one end and then run and grab a different one, or did he have to carry the same camera?
No, he had to carry the same camera. It was wireless from end to end.
Yeah.
But like, it's no different than what Connor or English used to do, or even Sean Simons used to do for Pat's games, or Sean did it, or English did it for.
But have you seen?
Except for those guys are 15 years younger than me.
Yeah,
they are not 15 years younger than you.
But have you seen how in shape those guys are compared to Emery, though?
Well, see, here's the thing, though. Like, if Emery would have phoned it in one night, I would have swapped him out. Like, if he would have sucked at it, I'd have been like, I think you deserve to go just sit in the penalty box and do ENG there. But the thing is, he did so good every night. And actually, you know what? I got a text today about the coverage for the rodeo. Somebody said the former CEO of Agribition, who watches like rodeos all the time, like goes to NFR, goes to CFR, watches rodeo on ESPN. He said literally it's the best coverage of any rodeo he's ever seen anywhere.
Wow.
And the announcer guy, his name's Tim Edge, the guy that does like the big voice for thing. He said he fielded a bunch of calls saying like, who covered that rodeo? It was awesome. It looked so good.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, maybe I was trying to kill Emery, but it was working out.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's funny you say if I melded into like, man, I felt horrible. I thought I was getting just pure garbage.
No, it was so good. Like the thing is, I think with this particular event, like I think we were all trying a little extra because we didn't have like there were so few rodeos this year that we didn't have a few smaller ones that we could phone it in on and just kind of like knock the dirt off. Like this one, everybody dug deep and tried pretty hard, and I guess it showed. So that's
nice.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, I mostly tried not to get run over by a bull.
But see, here's the thing. There's this rule at IKS, and like, do you guys watch Arrested Development?
Yeah.
Do you remember there's always money in the banana stand? There's a rule at IKS. There is always rollbacks in the trailer or the control room. So like, it's not like there wasn't like the drug helps for Emery. He was being a martyr and being like, you know what, my back's really sore. I'm gonna go do 7 hours of handheld today. So
Yeah.
Okay, can
and
you
like
do
the other
me-
thing too is Saturday, like after we'd already been doing it for 5 days, then Saturday was an extra long day. It was like 7 hours long.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the rider game after.
Yeah. Well, but at least at the rider game, you get to stand in the corner and be cold. It was good for your muscles. It was like icy hot patch being outside.
It wasn't bad until like once the game actually started and I actually started getting that, sort of sedentary moving part.
Yeah,
Then I started cramping up and hurting. I was in bad shape this morning.
Well, if it's any consolation, I spent 9 hours today moving over 150 LED panels out of Agribition. So karma's a thing.
Okay. So you have to tell before you go, Ryan, and Emery might cut this, but you have to tell me, this is like my favorite story in the world. And if you can't tell it, just don't tell it. But the Canada rodeo story.
I don't remember what the Canada rodeo story is. You'll have to which rodeo.
Okay, I'll give you the punchline, and then we'll have to cut it out, and then you can tell it. It's my favorite one. It's the one where the guy that sings the rodeo went into the room, and he was like, "Apparently, that it was my first rodeo."
I totally don't remember.
He showed up without a hat. So the singer, the anthem singer for the Pats, it was the guy that always gave the big fist pump.
Right.
They got him to sing the anthem.
Right. That was.
But then he showed up with.
Man. What's that guy's name? Emery. Can you remember?
Oh, I should. Nick. It's a Nick, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
But then he shows up in the control room, and I'll never forget it. At the end of the night, he goes, and they were like, "Nick, what happened out there?" Well, apparently tonight was my first rodeo.
Nick Fay.
Nick Fay. Like, I think at the end of it, he was gonna say something like "Let's go Pats," but he like stumbled over his words. Also, he didn't have a hat, which
they didn't let him. We didn't let him show him on camera, so he wasn't allowed to even go out there.
No,
he had
honestly,
to sing it
I don't
backstage. Okay, it's all right.
Do you know what it is? I remember this now. It was Pile of Bones 2 years ago. And I wasn't there. That was when I was like away because I had a kid, and you were directing that one.
Oh, yeah.
So this is your joke, not mine. You're trying
okay. Sorry, I thought you knew it. Yeah, you're just so good at telling stories that you could implant yourself at this one. And
Nick,
seriously, you could tell the story as if you were there.
Ryan,
now,
tell my joke for me.
I tell it all the time.
Oh man, Nick's always like, Ryan was there.
Yeah, I swear you were standing right beside me when he came into the control room.
I think
I've got a memory of you standing right beside me there.
With Swifty, because Swifty was the TP on that show, and like that was the last.
I'm pretty sure you were there. You probably weren't. The mind does weird things like that. Like that's actually a normal made up memories like that, or.
Yeah, especially at your age, Nick.
This is the age for
they've done studies of like they put somebody did you remember Bugs Bunny when you were at Disneyland? Or characters that should be with Warner Brothers and stuff like that, and they swear that
Daffy Duck and Donald Duck.
Yeah, and they swear up and down that they saw them at the different theme park, but it's impossible that they did.
This is how that thing goes. This is gonna get cut out. They had 30 people that were going to Disney World for the first time, and they had one person like greeting them before they went in. They're like saying something like, "Are you gonna see Daffy Duck in there?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And then they said it to half of them, but not the other half. And then a year later, just like they engineered this situation where they're talking to the same person somehow, and they're like, "Hey, you were at Disney World a year ago. I was the person that let you in. They're like, oh yeah. And they're like, did you see Daffy Duck? And they're like, I totally saw Daffy Duck. and then like, it didn't matter if they had or hadn't.
Yeah.
They said Daffy because it was Warner Brothers and not Donald because it's, yeah.
Have you ever watched the show? I think it's called Magic for People or something like that. It's on Netflix. Magic for Humans is what it is. He did in his second or third season. He did this one like where he would come and steal a lady's purse and then like immediately show up in a cop car and ask for a description of the person who stole it, and like no one could peg that it was him.
That's just a great practical joke. That's
Yeah.
like, that should be on Just for Laughs.
Yeah, like he even had some, I think like he wore this bunny hug with a big happy face on it. And he was like even wearing the bunny hug still, and still people couldn't like connect the dots, right? Like it was crazy.
That's so funny.
Awesome.
So I gather you guys are in the middle of an episode. What's this episode about?
NFTs.
NFTs.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna actually make one tonight, or try to. And then we're sort of doing a half episode because I'm gonna give Paul a call and get him arranged to sort of finish it out and talk about some of the stuff you guys are doing.
You know what you should do is you should make an NFT commemorating the time that I tried to kill you by making you do it.
Actually, Ryan, if you can, what you should do is go back into that room. Hopefully it's still on there. Find the moment that axe hits the fence right beside me, and that should be the NFT. The Just Two Camera Guys NFT, the time Ryan tried to kill Emery, and it's just an axe hitting a fence beside him.
Oh, that's funny. Did Emery tell you about the jousting this year?
No.
There was like a 45-minute falconry demonstration, which, you know what I mean when I say falconry, right? Like a dude with birds. And like if you live mice that he was running around and they were like catching them and eating them in front of the children, that would have been cool. But the thing is, he just like picked up a bird out of a box and walked around with it on his arm, and then like the bird would try to fly away and be like, get back here, and like slap it back on his arm. Like it didn't
they didn't fly up to the top of the thing and swoop down and show how fast they are.
They did absolutely nothing. Just
do you know what, like, in the guy's defense, the birds did fly around. I think the owl was particularly on edge. Just because. So, and the other thing too is he actually had a clip onto them
because of COVID.
He had an actual clip onto them that clipped onto his RMA, so they couldn't actually go away from him when he had them clipped on. And the owl, I seen too, like I'm pretty sure the owl was distracted by me at one point in time, and that's why, because he walked up and he was going to put him on the little stand. And then he tried, and the owl was kind of like fidgeting, and then he was like, no.
Is he wearing like a furry hat or something, Emery?
This is how Emery
take that.
Stuck some dead mice in his back pockets before he had to...
Yeah. No, I think it might have been just like I was too close or something, or two. It could have been like the crowd too, like having all that noise around them could just put the animal on edge. The falcon was cool when he did falcon? And he did the swingy thing, and it like attacked this thing. That was kind of cool, but he only did that once.
But you have to be outdoors because they have to fly up to like whatever height.
It kind of did like a little loop, I
fly
think.
In.
But it, like, I mean, how do you follow a bird on a loop in an arena? Like, you don't know what it's going to do.
Yeah, with a big fat center hung score clock in the way.
Yeah, like it wasn't.
Hit the score clock like when sparrows hit your window.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. The Falconer should have had about a 10-minute long show, but instead it was 45.
Was interesting when you saw the bird for the first time for about 30 seconds. Nick, it's like your story about whale watching, where it's like the first time a whale jumps out of the water, you see, and you're like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. So big. And then again, you're like, wow, that's amazing. Then it does it again. You're like, I paid $400 to watch it.
It's not even the money though. You start looking at your clock and you realize it's 10:30 and the boat doesn't get back till 4.
It's true. True.
It's like I'd pay him another $400 if they just take me back to shore right now.
Here's an idea for NFTs. Since I'm going to tie this back into your thing, since I'm talking about commemorating the moment that Ryan tried to kill Emery with 5 days of consecutive work, what if somebody created like an NFT factory for like the ultimate mundane, where it's like brushed my teeth today, or like just like totally normal stuff that happens every day, but it's like you've got an NFT about it.
Yeah,
that's kind of funny.
That's what Leroy and Leroy should be doing.
And you can do like you could actually do that, Ryan, because I think Mintable, you can create 50 NFTs, but then you don't pay the gas till somebody buys them. So you could make 50 ridiculous ones for free and not have to
I feel like this is a good
pay
experiment.
anything yet.
You know what I feel like the three of us should get together after a game and we should write down the 50 dumbest NFT we can think of.
That's your store's name. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Actually, Ryan, just because we're talking about it, Leroy and Leroy. So I was talking to Nick about these NFT things, and I'm in my mind. So me making an NFT is kind of useless. Maybe in the long term it can pay off, but probably not. I think Leroy and Leroy making NFTs now is like a beautiful way to make a lot of extra money right now. So if they're going to make NFTs, what should they be doing for NFTs?
So the first thing that comes to mind is the Leroy and Leroy there's always something to do logo. So just like Andy Warhol, like the theme variations on a theme, you make 50 different versions of that logo that are in, you know, like different colors. They're different. So like you've got the Leroy and Leroy logo that Leroy and Leroy own, that they get to use as their you know, their Facebook and their Twitter and their TikTok thing. But then there's 49 other ones that the top fans can buy that they can actually own a Leroy and Leroy logo. That's my suggestion.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Would you almost like personalize it or something like, hi, I'm Leroy?
No. It's the Leroy and Leroy logo, but there's 49 of them that are fractionally different than the original, be it a different color, a different background, a different whatever. But there's only one original Leroy and Leroy logo that's an NFT that Leroy and Leroy own. And then there's 49 copies of it that are fractionally different that the biggest Leroy and Leroy fans can buy and be like, no, I have a Leroy and Leroy. Just like, can you imagine if, so there's this Beatles thing out right now, like the thing on Disney Plus. Can you imagine if before the Beatles ever had their first #1 single, their very first song they ever recorded, there's only 50 original pressings in vinyl, and you had one of those 50? That's what you're doing, is creating 50 of one thing, and that's it.
There you go, Nick. Is that helpful? I was telling Nick to do things simple as well. Like, just, you want to go out, get your money quick, and get it done with.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, for Leroy and Leroy anyways, the original needs to remain Leroy and Leroy's, and like not the original, like the only one, but like the real Leroy and Leroy logo needs to be Leroy and Leroy's. It's like having a copyright, but then having 50 variations of it that someone can be like, you know, if they change their, you know, Twitter profile picture to the Leroy and Leroy NFT that they bought, they can be like, no, it's an original Leroy and Leroy. It's a real Leroy. Just like having like a Louis Vuitton bag or a Birkin bag or a Manolo shoes, or, you know what I mean? Like all those. That's all. It's a real Leroy and Leroy.
So back to my question, Nick, how do you feel about that?
No, I think that's a good idea. I never thought of it. That's brilliant, actually.
Yeah, I would buy one. Actually, one.
Well, honestly, the gas is what gets you when you actually get down to it. It's like you almost have to give it away, I feel like, because the gas is so expensive to even get it transferred.
I think you're undervaluing. So, okay, let me just tell you a story. When I was in grade 11 or something, me and my buddy Dan Hagen started making jewelry out of used bike chains because we were like into mountain. Our bikes kept breaking, so we started making mountain bike jewelry, and like the cost to make it was literally $0. Like it was like nothing. There was a zero
because you're
input cost.
stealing kids' bikes.
Well, essentially, they're like basically zero input costs. And so we made a bunch of it and we took it to like, well, back in the day, there was like youth gatherings, like before the advent of the internet, there was like times when like large numbers of people would get together. And we made like a display and we're trying to sell them for $5 and nobody bought any of them. We were just like, what the heck? It's only $5. Like, it's kind of cool. And so then we kind of gave up on that. And then another guy that had a shop, like had an actual shop, was like, okay, I'll sell these in my shop. And he was like, how much do you want? And we were like, like $3-4. Like we dropped the price because we thought it was, and he was like, no, that one's gonna be 15, that one's gonna be 12, that one's gonna be 22. And they sold like hotcakes because the perceived value was higher. We valued it too low and people thought it was worthless. And so he just cranked the price up. And then people were like, oh, yeah, I need to get that because there's a perceived value. So, Nick, I think you're thinking that the value of your NFT is $49 and there's $57 worth of gas fees. But really, the value of your NFTs is probably more like $499 for the first 3 that sell. And then the next one becomes $599. And by the time you're on the 48th of 49, it's $4,999, and then the very last one is $15,000 because of the scarcity of it.
Yeah, and then those other ones drive up that original one's value, right? And then if that person sells it, you're laughing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think Leroy is like kind of sitting prime to make some real money right now.
I agree
with NFTs. Yeah, so that's why I want to do
camera
this.
Guys going to turn into Planet Money, where it's just like a deep dive into the exploration of all the money that Leroy makes on NFTs.
No, well, I think that the deep dive into different financial parts of camera gear, like whether it be at deep dive comparison of new versus used gear, the NFT seems like a prime thing because it's different way for photographers to make money that wasn't available. I think that's an inevitable topics to start hitting on.
Yeah, I think we should have hit on it a year ago, but I waited until Nick was ready. Anyways, I think we probably took up too much of your time already.
Yeah.
Well, this is actually I don't want to call it a slowdown week. Today IKS Live delivered its first set of curling matches to TSN. That was
nice.
Yeah, and I was moving panels at Agribition. So no, this is a slower week for me. So this would be a good week for you to call or text me a little bit later one of these days.
Actually, what I'm kind of thinking about right now, Ryan, because you're talking about trying to talk about this NFT stuff more. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking this episode is going to come out like right at Christmas or just after. I'm thinking we should start teasing the idea of the community, Nick, and have our first meetup.
Actually, yes.
Is there a day
Ryan,
in January
are
that
you
works
available
for you,
for the
Ryan?
first meetup?
Well, we can pick meetup? That day. We don't
it's
know.
Me,
we haven't
you, and
said it. I'm asking.
Emery hanging out at
Nick,
someplace.
Calm down, man. Ryan, what day works for you for a meetup? There you go, Nick. You see how it's done?
How you ask it. You can tell. Yeah, that's how it's done.
Emery just solved all the communication problems in our relationship.
Yeah.
You know what would be a great time is the week before Christmas. So like the 19th to 20, whatever, any one of those days. And we got to have English. English was your first guest on this show and he's friends with all of us. So like
what's a good week English in January? Because I feel like I'm not prepared for December.
You know what might be a good excuse? 15th is my birthday. Maybe a birthday meetup.
It's a good idea. I like it. Birthdays and beers.
Yeah.
2 camera guys meetup to celebrate the 2 camera guys meetup, and definitely not Nick's birthday.
Yeah.
Guys, this is my
Um,
birthday. We don't care.
Yeah.
Or actually, it's funny now too. Thinking of it, Nick, are you doing stuff with your wife, or does your wife have plans for you on your birthday?
Yeah. I don't know. It's my birthday. So
well, we won't actually say what day it is. I'll just say it's in January. We're going to do a meetup in January. And then
Yeah.
we'll
I'll make
sort
it
of sort
work.
that out after.
Any night but Wednesday or Friday works for me. Those are daddy daycare nights. So,
okay.
yeah, Tuesdays or
I
Thursdays.
feel like it's the Saturday night, the 15th. That's a good night.
Is Saturday a 15th?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no Pats game on the 15th, is there?
They
Nope.
are out of town. They're at Winnipeg.
Beauty. Yeah, why not? It's a Saturday night. Saturday night's a great night for meetups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are we going to do the first one in Moose Jaw or Regina? That's the question.
Honestly, doesn't matter to me.
You know what we should do is we should ask if multinational will just let us go inside just as like a private party.
Open up. Oh,
I know.
wow.
I know. Yeah. We should ask those guys, see if they'd let us.
Yeah.
Are
I
you
feel like,
who wants to do the asking? Is someone
well,
good
we
friends
all
with
know
them?
who should.
We're all
Ryan's
looking
friends
at
with you
Ryan.
guys.
It's like the I feel like I'm getting hinted at, but I'm not. Okay.
Although the one guy that you were pretty good friends with, he's not there anymore.
No, he's not. Yeah. But no, I do know the other two guys pretty good. So yeah, I can ask. Are we gonna record this whole thing? Like, is that the two guys
No, we'll just
recording thing? No,
it's just us talking for
I
fun.
like it. I like it a lot.
Honestly,
Yeah.
the way I kind of view it too is like, well, one, we're probably not going to talk about camera stuff, but if we do, it might drive like our next shows. Like, oh, that was an
Yeah.
interesting topic.
You know what it is? It's a great opportunity for us to come up with a list of the 50 most useless NFTs.
Exactly.
Well, I think I've given you guys more outtakes than you have
well,
episodes. So
I might
It's-
just make like a short episode of just Ryan, Nick, and Emery talk shit for 23 minutes.
dad jokes.
Oh, good seeing you, Ryan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
thanks
good
for
having you
calling
on.
me,
That was
guys.
fun.
Anytime. Cheers, guys.
We'll see ya.
See ya.
Bye.
NFTs, Nick, back at them.
Uh,
Or actually,
I
is
don't
that
know
even where
what
we want to
happened there.
go? Things
We
got out of
went-
hand.
what were we even?
I don't know how
What
we
did we?
even started that.
We called him to about the operate. Oh my!
Yeah.
Wow.
What do we have left for the show now? Is it just strictly NFTs, or did you want to talk about anything else?
I don't know. Honestly, I got kind of rattled there because I don't know what just happened. That's crazy.
Are we going to do a shelf of shame for the NFT episode?
Well, right now, Shelf of Shame update, big time. Here, let me just go to my eBay account. We've had a little bit of movement in the Shelf of Shame
What?
lately. Yeah. Active. Well, maybe one of them would be one of my active ones that's for sale, but it's in the house. So I sold my my Zoom F8, which was sitting on my Shelf of Shame. I've sold my Tascam DR MK version 2, which is sitting on my Shelf of Shame, just sitting there for like 10 years. And then my Cloud Lifter. Do you know what Cloud Lifter is? So, you know, this podcast, you see those podcast mics, the Shure ones? What kind's yours?
Like the one I'm using now?
Yeah.
The Shure SM7.
Yeah, it's like the SMNB or whatever. It's the kind that Joe Rogan uses.
Oh yeah, they have the mine's like the knockoff of that. I think that's the
Yeah.
SB7.
So you'll get one of those mics and you'll crank it up to a normal level. And there's so much line noise. They sound like crap and you think the mic's broken. But you get a Cloud Lifter and it takes your signal and it just lifts it, so when you bring it into your audio recorder or your preamp, you can get it to a normal gain. It sounds beautiful. So I was recording somebody that had one of those mics, so I just used it for that, but we don't do that anymore. So
Yeah. So the
it
Joe
just been sitting on my
Rogan
shelf
one,
for 2 years.
and you just had it sitting there.
Yeah.
What'd you sell
Yeah.
it
So I
for?
sold it on eBay, put it up there. It sold within like 3 minutes, $125. Boom.
That's a good deal for someone. So the Joe Rogan mic, it's the SM7B.
SM7B, yes.
Yeah, and then this one is the SV7. So mine's a digital knockoff of it, essentially. Why wouldn't you keep that one and get rid of the one you have, like in front of your face right now?
Oh, because I didn't have that mic. So I was recording somebody doing voiceover work, and they had that mic, but they did not have a cloud lifter, and so we were trying to record them, and it kept sounding like crap. So then I just bought the cloud lifter. And,
I was just so enthralled by this SM7B.
Yeah,
I was thinking someone got that. Yeah, I was thinking someone got that mic for $120. Like that's the deal of the year.
No, just the cloud lifter.
It's like I feel like that SM7B you could still sell for like
$700, $600, something like that, probably.
Yeah. Well, no, I think they're only like 600 new or something.
Are they? They're a good deal. It's a good value microphone.
Yeah,
but you need the cloud lifter.
Yeah. I actually have a shelf of shame unit here. I'll pull this out. I think you kind of know what this is already, but it comes. I got the box in it. Still comes in bubble wrap.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what this is.
And I am trying to sell this thing. It's a 3-wheel Revo DS3 tabletop dolly, essentially. So you put the wheels on. And
can I guess the price of this? I feel like this could be a fun game. I could guess the new price, and you tell me. Tell me what the new price is and what it's selling for now.
Yeah, absolutely. You think it over for a second.
Okay, I already got it. I got it.
What do you think?
The new price, $129.99, and you've got it listed right now for $49.99. And you're gonna settle for $25.
I feel like I have it listed for less, and it wasn't that much.
Oh, really?
So, like, here's the thing: the 3-wheel one, they don't even like sell anymore. It seems like, but you could get a quad wheel one for $40 American.
Oh, really?
And I think the 3-wheel one, like when I bought it, I think it was maybe like $60 American, so like $80 Canadian or something.
Okay. And so then what have you got it listed for?
That was a good question that I don't even know. Let's probably be easier to look up on my phone. I think I listed it for like $30. Yeah, like $25 is good. Honestly, I would rather it just go somewhere where it's going to get used, to be honest. Because
you know what?
Here's a better one for you, Nick. How many times did I use it?
Yes. How many times?
Any guesses?
Does testing count?
No, like real uses. Testing doesn't count because I used it a lot testing it.
0.
It's close. You're a little under.
So 1 time.
I used it twice. So I got 2 usable shots off of it, and that's it. So that's all those wheels have ever really rolled. Aside from me like playing with it. Not gonna lie, what is also really fun is if you set it up on like it's 360, it'll do like a perfect 360, so you can like just spin it in a row.
Oh, nice. Here, give me a second. I got a question for you with the shelf of shame.
Oh, my listed price is $50, so you're pretty bang on with that. Then probably $25 and up, I think would be a decent deal for it.
Okay. I can't believe that I'm even classifying this as a shelf of shame, but I'm trying to think back of the last time I used this on a shoot, and it would have been at least 2 years ago.
It's a doozy. So
this is the flywheel one.
Actually, so here's the funny part about this too, is I actually think this roller a lot of times is actually a little more handy than that. So it's a little easier, quicker to set up.
Well,
So
not the way I do mine. I don't think so, because I've got mine rigged up. Goes right onto my tripod.
yeah, so
Camera
you just bought
slides
an
right
extra
in the
plate.
top. So it just goes shunk, and I'm
Or-
set up.
Right. But on here, you would just set everything up and have it ready to go and just put your camera on it.
But mine I can take anywhere. Like I could take it, I just throw it right on my tripod. I could use it all the time.
It's one hand.
Oh, what's my surface? I got to
literally take this anywhere.
But I can't get up to height, right? So a lot of times with my slider shots, I'm going to get a headshot where I'm just kind of doing that.
Right. You would use this for like B-roll though, right? Like, so anything like setting stuff up on a table, wrapping around it. What else? I did essentially like a wrap around it was like a bunch of jerseys hanging on a row.
Okay.
And sort of curving around. I'm kind of doing like a parallax effect with it a bit. And
See,
from the ground looking up.
Yeah. So all the wide stuff now though, I just handheld and I'll smooth it out after. But the only time I would ever even think of using that is if I needed a tight shot and I was doing a little trolley or dolly.
Yeah. This would actually, for like a macro thing, like in wedding videography, it'd be choice for that, because super quick, super easy to set up, it would be faster than your slider there, just because realistically, you could literally take the camera head your camera's on and screw it onto that thing, and you're done.
Yeah, I would keep that if I was still doing weddings and stuff like that, because it's pretty useful for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just don't see the use for it anymore.
Yeah,
and I don't know what it's even worth now. Like, I feel like I spent $700 on it. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I would put my slider in the shelf of shame now as well. I actually asked my mom if I should keep my slider. Mom said yes. I think mom's got a bit of a hoarding tendency.
Yeah, I couldn't see her once I waited through all the boxes and I found mom, and then
but yeah,
said,
like,
keep it.
So
I feel bad. I'm sure your mom's I imagine your mom is a sweetheart, is what I'm guessing.
For sure. But yeah, she basically said, like, it might be useful someday. You never know what you want to do. And it's like, yeah, I get it. So I kept it, and I don't know. We'll see. I might sell it. Yeah. Mine's like a cheap motorized version as well, which kind of makes it fun.
Oh yeah. So I'm trying to change my mindset on that, because that mindset was kind of my mindset on stuff of like, I don't know if I'll need it someday. But I read this thing where the guy, it was like, are you going to use it in the next, it was either 90 or 120 days or something like that? And is it going to cost you under, I can't remember, it was a certain dollar amount to replace it, like $50 or $20 or whatever the dollar amount was. It's like, if you're not going to use it and it's only going to cost this amount to replace, just get rid of it.
The other week we were talking about the essentially like what gear you use and what you should get starting out with, and it's all about finding gear that is valuable to you. And it's not necessarily like when people say gear doesn't matter, well, it does matter as long as you're buying the right gear. And maybe a slider isn't the right gear for you now, or the right gear for me now.
Yeah. And you know what? If you have to buy it later, you just buy another slider.
Yeah.
That's
or find other ways around it.
Yeah. I just don't even really need it. Like, I just don't picture a scenario where I'm going to be using it anymore.
Yeah. Like, if I don't start doing like some heavy time lapse stuff on it, I should probably get rid of my slider.
That's where I find the budget makes those decisions a lot easier, because it's like, if I need to get it, I know that I'll be able to budget the cash to get it. And if I sell it now, I can throw that money into the budget in other places. I don't know. It just, budget seems to clarify a lot of those things.
100%. Do you know what? We should put a push in to have EveryDollar sponsor us, because both of us are a big fan of it. And I agree with everything you just said. Because like there's a lot now like in life where I'm just like, I kind of want this thing. Is it in my budget? And I'll go and look and be like, it's not there. And then like my immediate response after is like, nah, I don't need it.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm
true.
like satisfied with it. So EveryDollar, if you're looking to be a sponsor of a podcast, we have a podcast for you.
Yeah.
And Star White back, doing our outro here for our episode with Ryan. That was unintended. Thanks, Ryan, for jumping on and having some fun with us, kind of making fun of the whole work episode at Agribition.
He needs to send us another picture of his cat for the thumbnail.
I will. I'll send him a message. I might have. I think he did send me 2 already, but I'll send him a message for another.
That'd be great.
We'll do that.
We need more cat thumbnails.
Yeah, for sure. Right. That's how things get sold, right? Cats.
I think so. And then, because then you could put cats in the. I'm just thinking of the search terms. Although the problem with that is that if somebody actually comes looking for a cat, they're not gonna. It's just huge disappointment.
Yeah. So how awkward is it to do an outro when we did a show? When did we record that? Like 2 weeks before we've actually.
At least 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And basically neither one of us really had any idea what happened in that.
I remember, yeah, we phoned Ryan not to make fun of, well, basically kind of make fun of you, just saying, why was he trying to kill you? And then Ryan started talking about a couple of good things from what I remember. Yeah, but I just can't remember them. Like I remember being good. Well, not what I remember what Ryan was saying was interesting because it always is, but
yeah. And like I said, we talked for an hour. That's like just 3 guys sitting talking. I think that was as real as it gets. And that's always kind of like my favorite moments, right? When we're just, buddies chatting, shooting the shit, so to speak. So
so I can't get I must have a different lens. I'm trying to figure this out. So because I've got my 16 to 35 on right now, and I'm zoomed in all the way, and I'm really wide.
Yeah.
Am I always this wide, or what's going on?
What camera are you shooting on?
The 1DC.
Does it have a crop factor?
Oh, because I'm shooting HD right now.
Right.
No, but then it should be, because I'm shooting HD because we're actually recording. And before I was shooting Super 35.
Well,
yeah, you're right.
I switched mine up too. So my lens I'm using is my 70 to 200 because my 24 is just like getting everything because of the 4K
I'm
crop.
showing my side of my curtains are showing. It's just amateur hour here.
It's good. I like that I could see you change your LEDs when you did that. That was fun.
Yeah. It's got like this fade setting. This is gonna be interesting. This is good.
So
good
far,
stuff
it's
right
like
here.
watching paint dry, but
there we go. Look at that.
Just
this is gonna be good. Why do you check out the analytics on this video?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you edit this one, and I'm just gonna put in some random gibberish that you're gonna have to cut out, and then you're gonna have to cut from like red to blue.
Look at that. I'm gonna get rid of that now. There we go.
My setup too, like I've got my 70 to 200, so I've got autofocus, Nick. Oh, wait, there we go.
Yeah.
Which
I wish I could turn
before. It's pretty crazy.
I could turn the camera around right now because I've actually got my big softbox on, and it's like this wide by like this tall.
Yeah.
I think the light looks better,
yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, like your face looks good. You're separated nicely. Mine's kind of shabby. I got some shabby light way off to that side, and then I'm using this bounce, which isn't really bouncing a whole pile.
Oh, yeah.
I got lazy.
Here, I got to show you. Why not? I don't know. What else? Yeah, there's the light. It's big and bright.
That's a serious light.
Glad I showed that. That really was worth it.
You're giving the people what they want, Nick.
Yeah.
All the behind the scenes goodness.
I turned it around. It's just a giant light. That's all you can see. Just brightness.
Yeah. Anyways, Nick, let's wrap up this episode then.
Okay.
And, thanks again to Ryan for that talk that was meant to be a 5-minute talk that turned out to be an hour.
Are we
And,
gonna put the shelf of shame in this episode, or is that another episode?
we will create. I think at this point we've already
You're
had it.
trying to
in
wrap it up, and I'm
the
just
episode.
dragging it on.
So I don't think we need to worry about it.
We've
And
already
plus
done one.
I think it happened at the start, but
Okay.
I think after we did Star Wipe,
Yeah.
it happened, or in
Okay.
between Star Wipes. I don't know. We're gonna sort that out and post later.
Yeah. Well, just
Classic.
put rolling credits for the last 5 minutes, and it'll be fine.
But yeah, like I said, let's wrap it up for tonight. Thanks, Ryan, for coming on. Another
Thank you.
always fun doing that. And yeah, we'll see everybody next time.
Do you record? No. Do you?
Oh man, classic move. We forgot to
Ugh.
record. Eh? I feel like attendance could be used everywhere, Nick. It's universal. It is a universal thing. Every place you go, for like 5 seconds, just have him do some random dance, and then once you collect, like a minute of it, set it to like some trippy dance music thing, and like do like an intro thing too. We've gone to a lot of places. We like to check in from time to time. We call that attendance, and then that. So actually, to put some things in perspective here too, why I enjoy this in film school, I did at least once a year a random dance sequence in my videos.
Oh, did you?
Yep. But to summarize, and I want to make this real quick, is weird fair or not? Is it a fair way to describe the focal length of a lens?
Thumbs up. Yes.
Thumbs down for me. I would still buy a 28. If it's in your budget or anything, buy it. And if the 24 is not, go to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to try 28 now.
All right. And PSA. Are you satisfied? You good?
Yeah, it's a little bright.
Do you need to show off and adjust your hair again too?
Nah, I'm good. I can't believe I didn't even check that. Okay. I logged on earlier and went to preferences and switched it to this recorder. But then I didn't think I'd have to check it. Yeah, it
So
said AirPod Pros is what I was recording my audio to.
Did my text make sense to you?
I didn't really read it.
That I've
Star Wipe.
now I gotta figure out how to make a Star Wipe.
You should. I bet you can in Premiere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't use Premiere in Final Cut. I've got an idea for the outro for Paul.
Okay.
That'd be
I'll,
funny. I don't know. It might not be funny. The idea is really funny in my head.
We'll
Where
try
we're just like, wow, he was not as bad as he said he was gonna be. He was actually pretty good.
Nick fashion.
What did we talk to Ryan about? I don't even remember.
Well,
We should call him and say, Ryan, what did we talk about? We're trying to promote that. So no, we just can't remember.